John, the obvious question, wool industry, how's the season been?
Very disappointing, actually, and if you go back to the start of the season, July 1, and look at the strong wool indicator, which is a measure of probably 70% of the New Zealand clip, in New Zealand cent terms, it's over $1.50 down from where it started, and which is not satisfactory at all. And you know, and I guess the main reason for that is that you've had a country that's been taking 50 to 50 historic terms. You don't have to go back too far. 3-4 years ago, they were taking 50-55% of our clip. China, and yep. Today I would say it's interesting. The stats people in Wellington, their office was affected by the earthquake, so we haven't had latest data, but I would suspect it could be down to something like 25 or 30, and you know, just that fact alone explains that you've got a large portion of the clip that hasn't been able to go out. Now,
is there any reason?
Yes, there is. There is. Traditionally, in the top making end of their industry in China, and now top making is a process after scouring, goes into a top making process, which then goes into a yarn. It's a middle stage process. Traditionally, the use of New Zealand wool from the 30 micron through to say 37.5, which is a big part of our clip. A lot of our wool went into that category that went into China. Now, there's been a fashion shift. They've gone finer. Like, you don't have to go too far over the Tasman. The Australian merino market's doing very, very well on the back of Chinese demand. So what I'm saying to you is the Chinese consumer is looking for a higher value product. So they're looking for a finer type micron that makes a higher value whatever, suit, clothing, blanket, or whatever it is. And that has all come back to our sector here and meant that the wools in that range have, the demand has been affected a lot.
So does that mean that our fine breed are doing very well?
Oh yeah, the fine end, the merino grower and the fine end of the half-breeds, their prices, we're talking a completely different scenario than this. But as I said when we started talking, the crossbred area of the New Zealand clip, which encompasses a large part of that 30 to 37 micron area I was talking about, is the one that's been affected the most by this change in demand from China.
Yeah, that's very worrying because you've now got to find new markets for it.
Well, the thing is, what we have been doing is obviously talking to them and saying, is this a short-term thing? Is there something new coming in that will replace the demand that we're seeing that's gone? And they say, yes, that's possible.
That's possible.
It's possible.
You'd like something slightly stronger than that, John.
And that's why you keep visiting, because it's fundamental to the wools that we have. So they've had their New Year celebrations, and it's always quiet over the last, for 3 or 4 weeks, it's always very quiet demand-wise. They'll be starting to get back to work next week, and we hope that will mean a bit of resurgence in business from them. If that happens, it will put a platform under the market as we see it today, and then hopefully in time we could see a bit of improvement. But fundamentally, that's the reason why we've seen the...
Because you're going to have an empty pipeline, aren't you?
Well, the stocks, that's part of the issue as well. Stocks have been building in New Zealand. There's been wool being passed at auctions and growers have set reserves, and understandable. So there's a wool build-up in New Zealand as well. So it's critical that we get a bit more business from that market, and believe you me, we'll be doing our best to make sure
I bet you will.
Yeah.
I bet you will. Yeah. Now, obviously, we've got preparation as becoming very, very important as the numbers getting down, as numbers of stock.
Yeah. Preparation, I don't think, mainly preparation, obviously preparation's important, but really the main factor is the climatic conditions that we've experienced in the, in the season, if you like. Plenty of water, plenty of rain, you'll get yellowing, you'll get cotted, you'll get that sort of deterioration in the clip. Well, the farmer can't really do much about that. What we're saying though, of course, in the shearing shed is that he keeps all the different types separate.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Colour, obviously colour is still very important. Better colour will certainly are selling at a big premium at this point in time to poorer colour wool. So it'd definitely be worth the farmer to actually take that extra care and take the poor end out if he can.
You're talking poor end out. You're not looking at micron groups within a
Some
flock?
of the micron groups now, honestly, there's very little difference between them. But for colour, there's certainly a price difference in the market today.
So we don't know what the future is?
Well, it's certainly uncertain at the moment. No one's happy, and I can understand the growers being very unhappy as well. But we just hope that we've seen these up and down conditions before.
Yes, you have. You've been. Some of your peaks have been pretty low, and some of your bottoms have been very, very low. In the past.
We've had a pretty good period actually up till the beginning of 2016. It's been pretty good. The prices were at historical levels really. But yeah, it's the wool industry, I'm afraid.
Well, it is indeed. It will cycle back again,
Yeah.
John. Thank you very much indeed. In just a moment or two, we'll be talking horses with Bob McArdle.